Okay, North Node in Capricorn, this message is for you. Okay, so we have stand your ground here. Okay, and with that being said, maybe you could be, you know, needing to stand your ground in your situation. Okay, meaning stand in your power. Okay, ground yourself so that you can stand up for yourself. Okay, but we gonna see what is stand your ground for North Node in Capricorn. Okay, let's see what that is. And then you could be in a situation to where you need to stand your ground, and speak up or take more action in your situation. Okay, so that you can get through your situation. Okay, but let's see what is here. Okay, could be needing to, like, whatever you dreaming about, or your dreams and aspirations, stand up for yourself. People ain't gonna like what you do, or how you express yourself, or whatever the case may be. But the thing is, that's your life. 141. You do what you want to do. As long as you have control and stability. Okay. Now, let's see. What's this stand your ground? The North Node in Capricorn. Okay. Around July. Okay. Which is now. Okay. Hey. Okay, we have. Okay. We have 2 months from now coming out. So meaning you could have needed to stand your ground around July, which is now. Okay. And then from 2 months from now, some of you guys need to stand your ground. Okay. And then for some of you, you don't need to stand your ground right now. Not anytime soon. Okay. And then we have sabotage coming out. So, a lot of you guys could be feeling like, you done sabotage some things. Okay. And that's why stand your ground is here. So, in order for you to not feel sabotaged or feel like you ruined things in your life, okay, stand your ground, stand up for yourself, speak up for yourself. Okay, when it comes to what type of mistakes you done made, or errors you done looked over that were not correct. Okay, and maybe if you start networking a little bit, and stop thinking about what people are gonna say or how people are gonna look at you, you'll feel a little different. Okay, but we gonna see. We gonna see. We gonna see. Okay, we gonna pull a tarot. So don't lose hope in your situation, honey. If you feel like you done sabotaged yourself, honey, just continue to stand your ground, continue to protect yourself, continue to focus on, your power and your finances and your willpower and all that good stuff, okay? And you'll be okay. You ain't got to worry about, nobody falsely accusing you of, having, low vibes, or feel like you bringing some negativity into their lives. Okay, so let's stand your ground with around July for North Node in Capricorn. Okay, we have the Judgment coming out. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You could be under judgment right now, when it comes to standing your ground. Okay. And with that being said, some of you guys need to answer your calling. Okay. That's what I get from the judgment card. Answer your calling that the divine has put on to you. Okay. So that you don't be judged in a way that, will falsely accuse you. Okay. So this month, answer your calling. Okay. So that you don't have to, with the Ace of Swords in reverse coming out, so that you don't have to listen to anybody lies or falsely accuse anyone of doing anything that, is not going to help you. Okay. You have to recover after, you feel sabotaged or feel like you done been backstabbed. Okay. Understand that people tell lies, okay, about actually, being able to talk to the divine, actually be able to call judgment. Okay. And so this month you really need to focus more on your calling. Okay. So that you don't get intertwined with these lies. Okay. And then too, for some of you, the divine is calling judgment on everybody that's lying. Okay. Or that is not being truthful. Okay. And then we have the Emperor in the reverse coming out. Okay. So with that being said, you could have been listening to a lot of, negative talk about, someone that could have been, in their emperor energy. Okay. But right now, you could be this emperor that needs to understand the difference in actually having a calling and the difference between being an emperor. Let's put it that way. Because having a calling does not mean for you to, deviate from the plan. Okay? Meaning you have to do the work in order to actually be able to call judgment, in order to actually, have a calling on your life. Okay? But moving on to 2 months from now, stand your ground, North Node in Capricorn. Okay? Like I said, take that leap of faith towards your calling. You don't have to do anything reckless. Just do the work. With the 8 of Pentacles coming out, understand that it takes a lot of work, okay, in order to actually build up a connection. Okay. Let's see, because at the end of the day, people will try to manipulate you into thinking, certain things are going on, or have you thinking that you are not who you are because of, people talking negative. Okay. Knowing that, you just out here doing what you do, meaning working and focusing on, your life and getting your life in line. Okay, what else is here for 2 months from now? Okay, and then we have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. So, you probably could have took that leap of faith, or 2 months from now, you are going to be needing to, like I said, take that leap of faith and go ahead and focus on your work, focus on your creativity. Okay, so that, whoever is in your energy that is like bothering you and nagging you can actually understand that, okay, I really do have to take my time about, well, take my time in this situation in order for me to, not nag, okay, and actually realize that, okay, maybe I could be stressing someone out, or maybe you could have been stressing about a person in your energy, okay, not knowing that they could actually help you figure out your truth, okay. But the thing is, 2 months from now, you don't want nobody in your energy, period, point blank, that's jealous and nagging you, okay, about what you do, okay, and how you create things, okay. Just take that leap of faith. 2 months from now, stand your ground, okay. It's not anytime soon, okay. Not anytime soon. We have the Queen of Wands in reverse and the High Priestess in the reverse. So, okay, not anytime soon will there be, someone in your energy that is without their, not standing in their power, okay, and not using their intuition, okay. And then for some of you, you need to stand your ground, because at the end of the day, you are not using your intuition, okay, and you actually could be, in a situation to whereas it's making you not want to take action, okay. But understand, okay, you don't, you probably don't need to intertwine yourself with this Queen of Wands in the reverse and this High Priestess in the reverse, okay? Because obviously, they could have been the one that told you that you needed to, stand up for yourself, okay? And at the end of the day, it could have put you with someone that is obviously nagging you and getting on your nerves, okay? But let's see, what is this? Queen of Wands reverse to the High Priestess reverse. Okay, taking action, okay, taking action to come towards you, okay, not happening anytime soon, okay. So maybe you should have, excuse me, maybe you should not have took action towards these two people in your energy, because at the end of the day, they could have been bringing some type of, like I said, negative energy around you, okay, to whereas it could have been manipulating you in some sort of way to, having you thinking that, you in some type of pain or something, or you causing some type of heartache in your connection, okay. What's the 8 of Wands? Eight of Wands is the 10 of Wands to the 4 of Swords. So maybe if you would have relayed the information a little bit better, okay, some things wouldn't have been blocked for you, okay. And then at the end of the day, you have to rest and recharge, okay. So you could have been blocked after some type of, resting and rejuvenating that you could have done, or that you could have needed to do, okay, in order for you to actually, assist yourself with the proper information that you need, okay. So what's this 10 of Wands with 4 of Swords? Page of Pentacles, okay. So boom, you could have been done, needing to stand up for yourself, because people could be trying to block you into thinking that, you ain't resting and rejuvenating yourself, not knowing, your Page of Pentacles is not manipulating anymore into, doing things that they're not, used to doing, or whatever the case may be. But understand that all they take is one little pentacle. One little pentacle to put someone in despair. Okay? So understand that you have plenty of options coming towards you, but you have to get yourself out of despair. Okay? Rest and rejuvenate yourself so that you can understand the blockages that are put up in your life. Okay? So that you can take action. Okay? Now, what is sabotage? It's sabotage for North Node and Capricorn. It's a little long message. It's okay. Okay. Could have been sabotaging yourself because you were stressing yourself out. Okay, with the 9 of Wands coming out. Okay. So understand that a lot of stress can bring on a lot of, sabotage energy. Okay. What else is here? Okay, and we have the Page of Swords coming out, and that's the truth. I'm speaking the truth to you. Okay, understand that stress can bring on a lot of heartache, pain, tiredness, to whereas you do sabotage yourself. Okay, and then you could be, needing to understand that, certain information, can stress you out. Okay? And have you being indecisive with the 2 of Swords coming out, and have you, making the wrong decisions. Okay? But understand, honey, don't keep sabotaging yourself into thinking that, 1717, that you are being betrayed, or you just out here stressing people out because you don't receive the truth about, where you come from and what you done built for yourself, to whereas there's no need for you to be indecisive, honey. There's no need for you to be making the wrong decisions about who you actually want to show love to, or who you receive love from. Okay? Anything else here? The sabotage. Okay? 5 of Cups in reverse. So, you not in no position to whereas, you in despair. You need to get out of it if you are. Okay? Because that's the wrong decision to be doing right now. Okay? Stand in your truth. You know what I'm saying? You don't receive some type of information, some type of truth about, your stress. Okay? Some type of truth about, who's actually an earth angel with the Temperance coming out. Okay? So understand, honey, it was fate with the Wheel of Fortune. Okay? Some things are fated. And that's why I say you have to understand yourself. You have to answer your calling in order for you to understand your fate. Okay? And actually be able to receive the Ace of Cups. Okay? So, North Node in Capricorn, I'm going to leave this right here. I ain't going to keep going. Even though I could. But we're going to leave it for another time. Okay, so if you like the message, thumbs it up, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend, and your girl will be back with more videos for North Node and Capricorn. Okay, holla.